What is up, everyone? Welcome back to Top Chill Play. April 2026 is the most stacked single month of anime releases in recent memory. We are talking about long-awaited sequels, franchise milestones, and one adaptation that the anime community has been demanding for years. All of it drops this month. These are the top 10 anime premiering in April 2026. Dates, platforms, and everything you need to know before each one drops. Let's get into it. Coming in at number 10, My Hero Academia More. The main series concluded its run and left fans devastated. This special epilogue is the final farewell the franchise deserved. Set 8 years after the events of the finale, More follows the students of Class 1A now living as fully realized professional heroes. Deku, Bakugo, Uraraka, all of them grown up, working, and facing a world that has fundamentally changed because of what they did. Studio Bones returns with the same animation quality that defined the series at its peak. A special of this length and production investment is not a cash grab. It is a love letter to an audience that spent years with these characters. If you watched My Hero Academia from the beginning and felt the ending needed more time, this is the closure you were waiting for. My Hero Academia. More is not a sequel. It is a goodbye done right. That is rarer than it sounds. Number 9 is Dr. Stone's Science Future entering its final arc. One of the most original anime concepts of the last decade is heading toward its conclusion, and it is going out at full power. Senku Ishigami has done the impossible repeatedly throughout this series. He rebuilt human civilization from Stone Age to Industrial Age in a fraction of the time it took the original humanity. Now he is going to space. To the moon. Because that is where the answers are. Dr. Stone earns its place on this list because it makes science genuinely exciting. Every invention is real chemistry and physics. Every problem has a real solution. The show respects its audience's intelligence in a way that most anime never attempt. The final arc promises the most ambitious sequences in the entire series. If you have been following Senku's journey, April 2026 is where it all pays off. Dr. Stone's final arc is the conclusion of one of anime's most creative franchises. Do not miss the ending. Number 8 is Liar Game, and this is the sleeper hit of spring 2026. The manga ran for 10 years on Weekly Young Jump and built a cult following that has been demanding this adaptation for over a decade. Now Kanzaki is an honest, naive college student who gets pulled into the Liar Game tournament, a high-stakes psychological competition where players deceive each other for prize money. The person who loses owes an enormous debt. The person who wins takes everything. She teams up with Shinichi Akiyama, a genius con artist recently released from prison, to survive rounds designed to exploit trust and punish honesty. The games are brilliant. Every arc is a new puzzle, with a new rule set and a new type of psychological manipulation at its center. Death Note fans who want that same tension of watching two brilliant minds outmaneuver each other will find exactly what they are looking for here. Liar Game is that good. Liar Game is the psychological thriller anime of spring 2026. If you like mind games and zero filler, this one is made for you. Number 7 is The Beginning After the End, Season 2. The continuation of one of the most successful web novel adaptations in recent anime history. Arthur Lewin was once the most powerful king in his world. Reincarnated into a fantasy world as a child, he builds a new life with the wisdom and combat experience of his past while hiding his true capabilities. Season 1 established the world and the character. Season 2 is where the consequences of everything he has built start arriving all at once. The source material, the web novel and manhwa by TurtleMe, is one of the most read fantasy stories online globally. The adaptation has handled the material with care, and the production quality in Season 2 is a significant step up from the already solid Season 1. If you liked solo leveling but wanted a protagonist with more emotional depth and a more complex world, the beginning after the end is exactly what you are looking for. Season 2 is where this story stops holding back. If you have not started Season 1 yet, you have until April. Number 6 is Zero Season 4. The most emotionally punishing isekai ever made is back, and it has not gotten any gentler. Subaru and his companions cross the Great Waste toward the Pleiades Watchtower, chasing answers to questions that have been building since Season 1. The journey is brutal. What they find at the destination is worse. Zero has never been interested in giving its protagonist easy victories, and Season 4 continues that tradition with full commitment. White Fox returns with production quality that the promotional material suggests is the best the show has ever looked. The new environment allows for visual storytelling that the previous seasons could not access, and the character work in this arc is what light novel readers have described as Subaru's most significant development in the entire series. Zero rewards viewers who pay attention and punishes those who expect things to go well. Season 4 is built for the audience that survived Seasons 1 through 3 and came back anyway. Zero Season 4 is not for the faint of heart. It is for everyone who watched Seasons 1 through 3 and still wants more. Number 5 is One Piece entering the Elbaph Arc on April 5th, and for anyone who has been following the series, this is the moment that has been teased since the late 1990s. Elbaph is the Island of Giants, first mentioned all the way back in the Little Garden arc. For over 20 years, fans have been asking when the Straw Hats would finally reach it. The answer is April 5th, 2026. The production investment Toei is putting into this arc signals that they know exactly how important this moment is. The Egghead arc that just concluded set a new standard for One Piece animation quality, with sequences that rivaled theatrical productions. Elbaph is expected to continue at that level or higher because the source material demands it. Even if you have not followed One Piece recently, the Elbaph arc is a legitimate entry point that fans and critics are calling the most exciting thing to happen in the series in years. 20 years of build-up. The Elbaph arc starts April 5th. One Piece is reminding the world why it is the greatest adventure in anime history. Number 4 is Dorohedoro. Season 2 premiering April 1st after a 6-year wait. This is the return that dark fantasy fans have been demanding since 2020. The whole is a crumbling city used by sorcerers as a testing ground for their experiments. Cayman is a man with a lizard head and no memory of who he was before. He is hunting the sorcerer responsible with his friend Nikaido, who makes exceptional gyoza. Season 2 picks up exactly where Season 1 ended and immediately makes things worse for everyone. Season 1 was MAPPA at their most creative. The CGI animation style was completely unconventional and absolutely perfect for the grimy, grotesque world of Dorohedoro. Season 2 returns with the same studio, the same cast, and what appears from promotional material to be an even more ambitious production. The manga material Season 2 is adapting is widely considered the best in the series. 6 years is a long time to wait. April 1st is finally here. Dorohedoro. Season 2 is the dark fantasy event of spring 2026. If you have not watched Season 1, you have the weekend to fix that. Number 3 is Hat Atelier, premiering April 6th with a double episode drop simultaneously on Crunchyroll and Netflix. This is the most anticipated new fantasy anime debut of 2026. Based on Kamome Shirahama's award-winning manga, the story follows Coco, a girl who discovers the true secret of how magic works in a world where everyone believes magic is something you are born with. That discovery sets off a chain of events that pulls her into the world of witches and the dangerous knowledge they protect. The production has been 6 years in the making. The director, Ayumu Watanabe, handled summertime rendering and After the Rain. The series composer, Hiroshi Seko, wrote the scripts for Vinland Saga, Mob Psycho 100, Chainsaw Man, and Dandadan. The cast features Natsuki Hane, the voice of Tanjiro from Demon Slayer, as the lead male character. Fans and critics who attended the advanced screening in Tokyo called it the standout premiere of the entire spring season. The manga is frequently compared to Frieren and Delicious in Dungeon as one of the new pillars of modern fantasy storytelling. Witch Hat Atelier premieres April 6th on Crunchyroll and Netflix simultaneously, 6 years in the making. The hype is completely justified. Number 2 is Classroom of the Elite, Season 4, premiering April 1st with a 90-minute special covering the first 4 episodes back-to-back. Year 2 begins, and Ayano can no longer afford to stay invisible. 3 seasons of carefully constructed psychological warfare have been building to this moment. The second year of the Tokyo Metropolitan Advanced Nurturing High School brings new students, new rules, and new enemies with direct connections to Ayano past. The promotional material makes clear that the comfortable distance he maintained in Year 1 is no longer available to him. Studio Lurch returns with a new lead director and what appears from the trailers to be the sharpest, most cinematic production the series has had. The 90-minute premiere strategy, previously used by Frieren, Apothecary Diaries, and Oshinoko for their strongest seasons, signals that everyone involved knows exactly how important this launch is. Light novel readers who know what is coming in the Year 2 material describe it as the version of Classroom of the Elite that makes everything before it feel like setup. The anime is finally getting there. Classroom of the Elite Season 4 premieres April 1st with 4 episodes. Clear your schedule. Ayano second year is not going to be quiet. And the number 1 anime premiering in April 2026 is Steel Ball Run. This is not a debate. This is the most requested anime adaptation in years, and it is finally happening. Steel Ball Run is part 7 of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, set in an alternate 19th century America during a cross-country horse race from San Diego to New York. Johnny Joestar is a paraplegic ex-jockey with nothing left to live for. Gyro Zeppeli is a disgraced executioner carrying a secret that will change the nature of the entire race. Together, they enter a competition where the real prize has nothing to do with first place. David Production, the studio that faithfully and brilliantly adapted every previous JoJo part, is back for this one. The premiere episode airs exclusively on Netflix worldwide. The investment signals that both David Production and Netflix understand what this adaptation means to the global JoJo community. Steel Ball Run is widely considered the greatest arc in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure history. The stand battles, the historical setting, the character writing, the philosophical themes, the ending, everything about it operates at a different level from what came before. The anime community has been asking for this for years. April 2026 is the answer. Steel Ball Run is the anime event of spring 2026. Whatever else you watch this April, this one is non-negotiable. Mark your calendar. And that is our top 10 anime premiering in April 2026. Which one are you watching first? Drop it in the comments. I want to see the debate. If this list saved you from missing something big, hit the like button and subscribe to Top Chill Play for daily anime rankings. I will see you in the next one.